This is a video to quickly show you how a tool that I've been using recently is speeding up my workflow when developing custom CSS or code that goes into the footer injection points on Squarespace. So this is not for developer mode, it's for people who are just basically wanting to customize their site using those custom CSS and footer injection point. The tool is called the Squarespace Code Connector, and when you load it up, it starts there, and then I can put in my username and password, and it goes and gets my list of sites, and say I'm going to work on the Silverbox website. So it connects the site, so once it's finished doing this, it's connected, and it starts to ask me there if I want to link custom CSS or custom JavaScript. So what I'll do is I'll link custom CSS. That's my CSS file on my desktop in my computer, and I'll link the footer injection point. It doesn't do header injection, it does footer injection. Okay, so those two are linked. Now I'll show you the sort of thing that we can do. So if I go across to code editor and put the connector on the right hand side of the screen, let's go into, say for instance, the About Me section. Okay, so there's me, and let's look through this code and go towards the top somewhere. There's a paragraph font sizing. Yeah, okay. So it's currently at it's got 16px and 1.6 rem. I think the 16px is a backup for browsers that don't understand rem units. But what I can do is I can think, okay, I don't think my text is large enough. Then I'm going to change it to 3.2 rem and click save. And instantly on my website live is the change in the font size. So I'll quickly change it back again, 1.6 rem, save it. So here's an example when we're looking at coding. So I have this is a page on my website where I'm trying to write a routine where the content of other summary blocks on a page get added to the first one on the page. So it's to overcome the 30 item limit on summary blocks. So if I load this page initially without the script enabled, then you can see there's a first summary block, a second summary block, and a third summary block on the page. If I look in my script, then when I was writing the script I had various console log messages. So if I go, one of the important ones I was doing was, the way the script works is it looks at the other summary blocks on the page and it grabs their rows of items. So I wanted to make sure I grabbed it before I started injecting it into the page. So to do that, I had a console log event of this block item. So what I've just done is uncommented the console log and saved, and you can see it's uploading. Now it takes a bit longer to upload a script than it does to upload a CSS file because it has to do it a different way basically. So now if I look on my page and reload it, the page won't look different, but I'll need to look at inspect it. So the page looks the same because I haven't actually actioned the change, but what it will show me is there is the console output. So that's the code that I wanted to make sure that it grabbed for me. To show you again, just to prove it, if I comment that back out and save, wait for that to do its thing, and then go back to this page, refresh it, check out the console, and now the console doesn't have that text in it. So then what I'm going to do is, obviously normally when you're scripting you'd be iterating and changing things and tweaking things and debugging or whatever. With this one I'm just going to uncomment this line, which I know does what I want it to. Click on save again so we can see it's saving. Go back to the page, reload it, and now you can see that the script is running. The first block's, second block, and third block's contents are all in the first block. Second and third are still there because I haven't done anything to hide them. Next thing to look at is how to structure it. So if we look on the actual, if we look on my site, Okay, so looking at code injections, as I say, it doesn't touch the header code injections. That's my normal header stuff. If you look at this, this is the output code from the tool. This here. If you look at my actual document inside Sublime, you'll see it doesn't have a script tag at the top. It doesn't have a script tag at the bottom. The reason is that you don't need it for this tool. What it does is it automatically wraps it in the script/script. And what it will also do, and I can illustrate that quickly, is at the moment I've only got that in there. There's nothing else in that section. But say there was something else in that section. So say I had this style was in there. And I'll then delete the script. Okay, so now my footer area has got that piece of CSS in it. If I go back, save my script, check that it's saved. Now if I go back out and back into the code injection, you'll see that in the footer area, my style tags are still there, and what's happened is the tool has injected the script immediately after that, which is great because if there's things that you need to have in your page footer, which are usually things like tracking codes and stuff like that, you can have them there separate from the custom scripting that you're writing. So in summary, what the tool allows you to do is to much more quickly iterate through designs and changes. It makes it, for me, since I've started using it, it's stopped me from accidentally posting CSS into JavaScript sections and JavaScript into CSS sections and then having to scratch my head and work out what's gone wrong. It stopped me accidentally posting footer code into the header injection point, and again wondering why everything stopped working for a little while. So it stops those frustrations, and it also makes it much faster to iterate through design and iterate through coding, because all I'm having to do is write, save, and then refresh, and it makes it much faster to do things.